Today I'm going to show y'all how I put in this beautiful crochet install using Crochet Braids Plus Hair to the left. This is me in Africa filling myself with the hair end. And I'm about to show you how I use this hair with the custom color they created for me. I'll link the info below. I'm starting off with my edge line. As y'all can see, my edges are a little sensitive. I've gone through a little bit of changes with medication and things like that. So all that to say, we gonna love them back to health. But after I section my hair off, we're gonna start with my edge line because I don't want a lot of weight on it. I'm gonna braid these individual in the front. I'm using my Sweet Butter Moisturizer by LoveLeys Hair. That will also be linked below. And I use that to moisturize my ends, to make them more pliable, more easy to detangle. So when we braid up the hair, it's moisturized, it's not angry. And then once I get the product through, I'm able to detangle it without fight. You don't see any, tangles as I comb through it. And then once I get that product in, I'm going to use my Sleek and Smooth pomade to lay my edges down and just put them in position to be braided so there won't be a lot of flyaways or issues with that. So I work that in and kind of just comb it through the section to clean out the part. It's also helpful to get rid of any flyaway hairs that might be trying to get into your section from another part of your hair. And basically you just use that gel to kind of put it in position. And then once you get it in position, you just smooth it out and then you add your braiding hair. So for me, I'm using this loose hair that's off of a weft. I can send you where I got this from, but it's basically the same texture that's used to make these kind of twists. So I'm just going to use that loose hair and I'm going to do a box braid starting at the root. So I'm using like my natural hair in the middle and the extension hair on both sides to make a 3-strand braid. And we are just basically doing a 3-strand braid probably about 4 times, if not 3. 5 if you want to be super secure. And then after you do the plait, you're going to split the hair in half and you're going to do a 2-strand twist. So I'm still going down because this is kind of like a shorter, softer section of hair. But now I'm going to split the hair up to do a twist. I'm just making sure the ends are detangled and then we are able to twist down the strand. So that's me twisting. I'm going to speed it up so it doesn't get, repetitive, because I'm gonna basically do this process again and again. And as you can see, when I let go of the hair, I add a little foam on the ends to kind of bring out the definition. I trimmed off a little bit of the fray at the bottom too, and you see it made a beautiful bouncy spring twist. And it's more than a spring twist. Like, honestly, I don't like to call these spring twists because they remind me more of curls than a spring twist. But basically I'm repeating that same process using that Sleek and Smooth gel along my edges just to smooth it out. And once I get everything secure in place, I'm gonna go through this process again of braiding my hair. So this is just gonna be another angle just so you can see up close what I'm doing. I have the hair on both sides and my hair in the middle, and I'm creating like a 3-strand braid. So basically that hair is being overlapped over top of the 3 strands that I had positioned in my fingers. And I'm going to do an individual braid until I feel like the hair is super secure. And then I'm going to twist it in 2. Now that we're 3.5 minutes into the video, I just want y'all to know it's kind of late at night, so if my voice sounds a little raspy, please excuse me. But I'm here to give y'all the goods because this install was everything. I had a lot of compliments on this install. So yeah, I just want to show y'all. As you can see, my edges is very weak in this area. My edges as a whole have been weak, I feel like, for a while. Transparently, in 2020, I got on some, blood pressure medication, and I feel like that might have taken a little impact on my hair, but I've been doing the best I can to love on her, keep her moisturized and happy. But as you can see, I just kind of combed those weaker, shorter edges out the way. I will not try to braid something that's already showing signs of weakness. So this is your reminder. If you have weak edges, don't braid them up. Just lay them down and moisturize them. And don't try to keep them laid. Like if they start to puff up, let them puff up. I didn't lay them like this every single day. Trust me, I'm just doing it for the sake of this video. But naturally, like, less is more when it comes to hair edges. Don't give it a lot of stress. Keep it simple. Keep it low tension and low stress. And your hair will thank you. And you'll keep hair on your head. And you won't go bald. Tell everyone that I told you that. Like, let go of this need to have the hair perfect. If you let go of that need, I promise you would put your hair on less stress. So all that to say, let me continue to speed through this process. It's just repetition at this point. I'm going to just repeat this process throughout the front of my head. So if you guys wanted a slow down version of this, let me know in the comments. I can always post it, but I just feel like this part is kind of self-explanatory. Simply because I've gone over this part already, I am about to speed it up and basically move on beyond the front section so you can see how we actually do our cornrows to give us the illusion of individual braids in the back. So first I spray my LoveLeys hair leave-in in the sections that I'm about to part out, just so the hair is more limber and more easy to get through, because you don't want to brush or comb through or section off hair that's extremely dry. So I'm spraying that leave-in just to make it easier to separate in section, because my hair has been free and dry for a couple days. It hasn't been, it's not freshly washed, even though it should be if you can help it. So first I put the Sweet Butter Moisturizer through those ends to tangle it. And then I'm going to use that same gel, the Sleek and Smooth Pomade, for the edge line to kind of lay those braids down smoothly. And I'm using the clip to basically part out those sections. So I sometimes use the clip, sometimes I use the comb, depending on how neat I want that cornrow to be. But naturally you can see I'm going through and doing braids going upwards, up the back of my head, which is going to give us the illusion that I have individual braids when I add the crochet hair end. So naturally, if you want to be able to pull your crochet up into a ponytail, using this technique is helpful, so you don't have to do individuals around your whole head. You could just do a braid pattern where you have the direction of the hair going upwards. So if you were to pull the hair up into a ponytail, it would give that look of being individual. So I'm actually going through my hair now and doing the cornrows in the front. Now the cornrows in the front I have going pretty similar, but more so in a zigzag pattern. But I'm giving you that same illusion of individual braids along my part line. So no matter which way I pull my hair or slice it, it'll actually give that appearance. Okay, so the front is done. And the braided foundation is done. So I do this foundation so I can do a main part here and a main part here, and still like switch it up around the front. And of course here so I can put it up. So this foundation is unlike any other. It's my go-to. So yeah, can't wait for y'all to see the after when it's all done. So yeah, now it's time to install this hair. But before I install it, I'm going to tuck the hair under the braid. And what that's going to do is make sure it doesn't pop out and get in the way of my style or cause me to accidentally cut my hair when I'm taking the extensions out. So I always tuck the end of the braid underneath a cornrow. And then I spray my rosemary spray. The rosemary stimulant spray is my favorite product. If you're someone who's prone to itching or your scalp just feeling restricted, spraying this on your scalp will really help to make sure you don't get as much buildup or as much itching or irritation. This rosemary spray is actually an antiseptic as well. So it's going to keep your scalp clean and basically just remove any type of unwanted buildup. And now I'm adding the hair in. So this is me in my room on the floor. So despite the backgrounds, I am just adding the hair. So that part is pretty simple. You're just crocheting through. So once I get to the front, you'll be able to see a little bit more of what I'm doing. But literally, it's just crocheting the hair through the cornrow. That's all we do during this section. And it's very repetitive. So I didn't want to, do it too slow. Because that process is pretty simple. But basically, that is what I did throughout my head, is add those individual crochets. And now I'm going to show you in the front so you can see what it looks like when I add the twist. So if you're looking up close, I just pulled it through the cornrow and slid that through the loop. So I'm pulling the hair through the cornrow, and basically once I have it latched, I take the end of the hair, once it's fully latched and pulled through, and I pull that end of the hair through the loop and just pull it to the root, and that's it. So this is the process that I've taken throughout my whole head, but I just wanted to show you once I got to the front so you can get a better visual of what it looks like when I add the hair. But this process is the same thing I repeated throughout my whole head, so you didn't miss anything. If you see it one time, that's the same way it is every time. But yeah, that's the process of how I installed this hair. I love the dimension and the color. It's giving exactly what I wanted to give. So shout out to Crochet Braids Plus for making this custom color for me. I have so many colors in my head that I normally don't get what I need from one flat color. So I had to ask them to mix a couple colors to give me what my hair color normally looks like. So I'm very pleased with the results. It definitely gave me exactly what I wanted to see in the end. So yeah, this is the process to finish it all out. And last but not least, I'm going to show you guys one more time me pulling the hair through the loop, taking the end and pulling that through the loop, and then pulling it tight so the hair is secure. That's it. That's what we do. And now you can see the length of the final install. And now that it's installed, I'm going to have to trim it because it just feels a little jaggy. So I'm trimming and cutting it to the look that feels good to me. If you're someone who's not really particular on the cut, don't worry about it. You don't have to cut it. But me personally, since I'm a curly specialist, I'm into curly cuts, I'm going to cut this hair and make it look how I want it to look, because it's very necessary for me to feel like, okay, I woke up like this. I don't want to feel like I have to section my hair any type of way to get it to lay how I want it. So I'm going to cut it in a way where it's just going to fall the way that I need it to fall. And realistically, I'm going to just tell y'all, normally after I cut my hair, the first time, probably throughout the week, I might trim it a little bit more as it settles, because I feel like when you first put in crochet hair, it can be a little bit, I guess you can say a little stiff or a little bit not as natural. So as it settles throughout the week, I find myself having to cut it more, just to kind of frame it more specifically to how it's starting to lay. But you might not be that particular. So if you're not that particular, don't worry about it. It's not for everybody. If you're not that specific or that like needing it to be a certain way, that's even better. I have a lot of clients I'll put this hair in and I ask them if they want me to cut it, and they be like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, cool. I love that for you. Because me, I'm always wanting to cut my hair when I put it in to make it lay how I want. So this is me just playing with it, seeing how I like it, seeing how it falls. But nonetheless, the deed is done. The hair has been installed. Now you can see it. You can see how it moves just like hair. And here's how it looks in the end. This is me in Africa. This is my Africa hair. And you can see how it just flows. It just looks like hair. And it's crochet though. So it makes me really happy. It moves effortlessly. It's lightweight. And it traveled well. Let me tell you, I got up and left and I didn't have to worry about my hair every day. So if you're thinking about finding some good vacation hair, this is the hair for you, y'all. I think you won't regret it. I think you'll love it. And you won't regret it. So all that to say, if you're looking for this hair, use my promo code below. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.